Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is November 9th, 2023. It is a beautiful Thursday morning. I just dropped the kiddos off at school, which was always a good time. I'm headed into Kaitech. We've got some really cool things going on. Yesterday was So we are implementing EOS, which stands for Entrepreneurial Operating System. It is a process for how you manage a business. Incredibly powerful. Yesterday was great at getting everybody on the same page. What are we trying to do? What are we trying to accomplish? Where are we trying to go? Who's all going to be a part of it, in what seats. It was really powerful. And so we're going to be continuing that here today. So that's fun. It is really interesting when you start to separate out companies from each other and what you're trying to do. Because I see I see this with Kaitech. Building a business is hard. And there's a lot that needs to go into it. And you have to focus. And if you don't focus, you'll lose everything. You'll lose sight of where you're trying to go and what you're trying to accomplish. So I think it's so important to figure out what you as a business want to focus on, because you can do anything. It really is your choice what you want to do and how you want to build a business. But you have to decide. And that's the funny thing. The owner has to decide, because at the end of the day, the owner is the one making the decisions. Your employees, yes, you can give them the reins and empower them, but you can also fire them at the drop of a hat. And so it's understanding that balance of how much do you empower, how much control do you let go, and how much do you retain, and in what way, what does that look like? That's all part of building a foundation for your business. And if you as the owner don't understand how everything's going to be pulled together, you'll miss a lot. You really will. So that's something I've been thinking about and working through with these acquisitions I'm working on, is figuring out what exactly the owners that I'm partnering with want, how they want to build their business. It is their business. It's not our job to tell. And that's when I look at America's Holding Company. I look at it like, what relationship do you have with Social Security today? Right? It depends where you are on your journey through life. Younger people are just paying into it, and that is the extent of it. Older people are receiving from it and potentially paying into it still. So it really comes down to letting the businesses we acquire completely run themselves. There's no oversight. There's no hands in the pot. Like, it is the founders, the current leadership team, ownership team who make all the decisions. Because at the end of the day, once you expand your time horizon 100 years, the goal is to take care of our people through that 100 years. And we do that by giving them freedom. We do it by empowering them to make all the decisions. And if that leads to failure, that leads to failure. Over the next 100 years, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of businesses will close and open. And things will change. But the one constant is us, we the people who are part of those businesses, that are working in those businesses, that are buying from those businesses, that are using those businesses as customers or providers of in some sort of way. Regardless of how long a business operates, it still fulfills a need that the employees and the customers want fulfilled. So ultimately, it is both the employees and the customers that decide if businesses survive or not. Because the employees can quit if they don't want to be there, and the customers can quit if they don't like the service they're getting. And that's why I believe in the next 10 years, you are going to see drastic changes at decade-old companies, because the way they're operating must change to fit the society we live in today. At least that's my belief. We'll see what happens with it all. But that's the great thing about time. No one knows. Like all the projections and everything that come out on a daily basis from the government, from companies, from all over. It's all spreadsheets based on numbers. Based on churn percentages and revenue growth and all these different numbers. But it doesn't take into account the true value of time. What else that's inside the business, what external to the business happens during that time? Is World War III going to start? I have no idea. I believe there will be a World War III. Whether it's next year or in 10 years or 50 years, I don't know. In my opinion, that's something I don't really need to focus on and worry about at this moment in time, because that's not my responsibility. Today, it's Joe Biden's responsibility, keeping that from happening. Right? And it'll change in 2024, and he's the leader. We all are following. Like that. And that's why I think the next president should lead from the front. They should be the press secretary. They should be in the room talking to the people on a regular basis, whether it is in the room like a regular fireside chats or Zoom meetings or radio broadcasts or whatever it is. We should be seeing and hearing from the president almost daily, is my belief. They should be directing us as a nation. They are the leader of America. Like, if you have a plan, you have to sell the plan. You have to get the troops in line. And every business owner, every taxpayer is a troop. Whether they listen or not, whether they incorporate that into their daily lives is not in your control. What is in the leader of our nation's control is whether they show up, whether they share where we're going, how we're going, getting there. Information travels so fast. By the time the news gets sorted, it is old news. I know Trump talks about fake news a lot. I think the more deadly news is old news. It's news that doesn't travel fast enough for people to take action on. And how do we as a society determine what to take action on? We have no cohesive strategy for communicating how we are led as people. I love being an American, and I want led. I would love it if one of the things I really like about Vivek Ramaswamy is I feel like he leads through his content. He's telling people. The debate last night where he hit on the Republican Party, he hit on the moderators of the debate, which I totally agree. Why do we have mainstream media facilitating the debates when they have already proven that they are filtered beyond belief? That's why I love when Vivek did his opening dialogue. Like, they asked it a very clear question leading somewhere. He completely ignored it. Didn't even try to answer it. He had what he wanted to say and he said it. Which I love that. Because they cannot, in that setting, they cannot censor it. Because it is live. Because it is live for everyone. They didn't get to vet what he would say. I promise you, if they did, well, I don't promise. I don't really understand the whole political game. But I would imagine if they had any idea that's what he would say, they would have found a way for him not to be a part of it. Just my opinion. But all of that to say, I want led. I'm looking forward to voting for a president who will lead us. And I don't know who I'm voting for at this point. I would say the reason I'm leaning towards Vivek for the most part is he is young. He's like 37. I'm 36. He's got 2 young kids. He's got a background in business and in growing his own business, which is incredibly difficult to do. Oh, that car behind me looks very close. So that's why at this point in time lean towards Vivek, because the number one reason is he's young and he has kids. I want whoever's making decisions for our nation to be someone who is going through what it means to have a family today, not someone who did it 40 years ago or however long Trump and Biden have been out of being parents. Like, the world is totally different when you have kids, and we need to prioritize people with kids. Period. That's the only way society continues to survive, is if we continue to reproduce and teach great values. And it's up to us. So that's why I want led. And I'm really excited to be led. With that said, have a great day, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.